Hi, welcome to the Caregivers Guide. Today's topic is about preparing once you get the diagnosis. As a reminder, the information should not be used as a substitute for advice from appropriate qualified licensed practitioners of law, medicine, or financial planning. This topic relates to a level 1 on the Expanded Disability Index Scale, where you have minimal disability. So this topic really focuses on the importance of seeking legal counsel pretty early, probably before you get your diagnosis or pretty quickly after, to help make sure that you navigate any sort of like disability insurance information, and then if you need any sort of like advocates legally, that you have all your ducks in a row. As always, I'll list the resources on the website that's listed in the comment section, but I also encourage you to get support from any sort of friends or support groups. So the reason I chose this topic is there's some really wonderful companies out there, and there's some ones that are not so wonderful. And the one that comes to mind, I was extremely fortunate to work with. The gentleman was working on a machine, and he had pretty progressed polio. And the HR manager and I ended up explaining to him his disability benefits and his long-term disability benefits, and helped his family and helped him get to a point where he was going to be a lot safer, and it was what the insurance was, what you paid into it for. However, there's another case that I had a friend, and unfortunately I also had this very similar experience where the company, the insurance company ended up sending the check back. And that's happened in at least 3 or 4 cases. A friend's of mine, where once you have something or you get a claim, either your check doesn't get cashed or they send you a check back, and if you cash it, that means that your insurance is no longer continued. So it's a practice that you just want to be aware of, and hopefully you never end up in that situation. So in your evaluation, you always want to believe that the employer is going to do the right thing and see you as a value-added associate. And when you purchase insurance, you want to really make sure that you understand the coverage fully, especially if you have a pre-existing condition or if you have a genetic predisposition for something. You want to make sure that that is going to be covered if you ever should need to make a claim or file a claim. That's why you pay for insurance. It makes sense, right? So one of the things you also want to do is don't assume that your employer is going to help you with that insurance claim. You might have an employer who does a great job and sees their employees as assets, and you might have somebody else that sees them as liabilities. So unfortunately, that's why we see so many legal ads today on the TV where you've got lawyers that are saying, look, we have to go to fighting for people's claims for the insurance companies. So counter to the other company, there was a situation where there is a very large company, and they had an associate, a manager, who was exceeding targets, exceeding their annual performance metrics, and they were having some medical difficulties and were going to the doctor. And the executives were saying, okay, you don't need to tell anybody, your salary. You don't need to, explain what's going on. Just go to your doctor's appointment. We hope everything's okay. And everything was, seemed copacetic and nice. And then they found out that they had a pretty serious disease. And the next morning they walked in and they had 2 sentences typed out on a piece of paper and said that they were being terminated without, for whatever reason. And therefore they lost all their insurance, which again, it's, if you're a not well employee, that can happen. But really looking back at, what could have been done differently is, being prepared for something like that to happen. Again, you think that you might be working for a solid company, but what you want to do is make sure that you're prepared for something along those lines to happen, just in case. So I go with the quote, I'm stronger because I had no choice, I'm smarter because I learned from my mistakes, and I'm happier because of the extreme sadness and grief, and I'm wiser because of my experiences. So you sort of take the good with the bad, and again, I hope that nobody has to go through anything extreme like that, and that's why I'm, again, creating these videos so that you can kind of understand what you could be in for. So with the Plan, Do, Check, Act, just really check over your insurance. Make sure that you really understand those documents. I know they're boring. And then also reach out to different legal teams just to make sure that you have somebody in your back pocket that will be working on your behalf if you ever have to make a claim or something happens. Make sure that whoever you're caring for, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a child, or partner, that you plan and you document everything as it goes forward, because hopefully you don't need it, but if you do, it's invaluable. And then check. Don't assume the worst or the best, but you definitely want to verify what's going on. And look at how your employer treats other people, and that should give you some indication, especially if you're a good employee or your insurance company, like how they're going to treat you. Again, most of the reason why people go into bankruptcy, it's for medical. So hopefully this does not happen to you. I'm hoping that I can help you avoid that. And then as you see fit, you know, if you need to make changes in your insurance, or if you need to make sure that you've got a better backup plan for your career, act accordingly. So in conclusion, I just want to leave you with the importance of valuing your life. People always think that the most painful thing is losing a position or someone that you value, but it's really valuing a company or someone so much that you forget your own worth. And when it's over, or when something happens and you find yourself by yourself or lost, it's really drives the point home. So I hope that never happens, and I wish everybody the best. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit like and subscribe and watch our future playlists. Thanks.